We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. I understand I'm both an LPC and an LMFT. However, this is not intended as a substitute for professional services of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services. Hi, it's Emma.
Hey, it's Zorric.
Host of the Date podcast.
Yeah.
And we are very excited to have this show for you guys because someone's back.
Is it Oprah?
Oh, God, that'd be cool.
It'd be cool.
I'll leave.
Except
You can get her back.
I think this person is better than, well,
Don't.
okay.
Yeah.
Is
Close
she?
to being as good as
I'm
Oprah.
pretty good.
Oh, yeah. She is. She's actually really good. She's super funny, and we love
We
her.
have
Yay.
Kaylee back.
Thanks, friends.
Kaylee's back.
Is she the first?
Back again.
Kaylee's back. Tell a friend. Yeah.
Do that again.
Nope. Should have caught it the first time.
You get a one and done, dude. You get a one and done.
Yep.
Anyway, Kaylee's back.
Okay.
She's the first guest that we've asked to come back.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Like everyone is so happy, and you know,
Faux show.
clapping. You know, we have like they're laughing at Kaylee because she's so funny right now.
Yes. That's totally authentic.
We're really excited to have her today.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Because
are.
so
Tease
how,
it.
How this got started was I was rewatching Friends, and I got very annoyed at some of the episodes. And so I texted Kaylee and I said, an adult watching Friends now, this is how I feel about these things. And so then that caused her to go watch Friends again.
No.
No?
Hang on.
Okay.
So I watch Friends every night before I go to bed.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because I've seen it a zillion times and I can listen to it and fall asleep.
If we were to ever go to a Friends trivia night,
I
she's
would
who I want on my
annihilate
team.
everybody.
Because we would win.
Really?
Like, we would win.
Yes.
Yes.
Because she
You'd be
corrects
like-
me all the time, and I'm just like, okay, Kaylee, like, calm it down,
No,
and I get it.
this is my thing. I can show like.
All right, so tell them how the
Empathy.
story actually got started.
Okay, so you had texted me about your thoughts about the Ross and Rachel break
We were
situation.
on a break. Yeah.
We'll get to that. And I have thoughts. And so then I was watching it and I sent her this giant text message back saying, no, these are my thoughts about it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, we should talk about this.
Yep.
Okay.
That's how I got started.
That's
now
cool.
we're all caught up.
Can I make a confession?
You've never seen any episodes of Friends.
I've never seen
I'm
any
gonna go.
episodes. Yeah, you might need to get out of here.
You can leave. We'll take care of this.
Did you watch the ones from the show, though?
I
at
did.
least?
I watched the 15 and
Okay.
16. I just didn't watch the finale.
Okay.
But do you like know anything about it or?
I know that that one chick is really hot.
And
oh,
that's
I
Rachel.
the
forget. People
important
can see me
thing.
roll my eyes at you. Crap.
I feel like we should also say that I thought it was a bad idea for you guys to record me live because I have no control over my face.
Oh,
At
yeah, you
all.
do.
Oh, no, I love it.
No,
I
maybe
think
I
that's what
don't.
makes it better.
Yeah, like I don't have to call out my clients anymore. I just make a face and they're like, oh.
Oh, yeah, in case anyone forgot, Kaylee is also a licensed marriage family therapist like me.
Yeah, so I think the whole purpose of this is to link dating with the TV
Right.
show
Yeah,
and kind
yeah.
of maybe give some tips. Let's say maybe you are going through that same thing.
Right.
How do you deal with that? I guess I'm sure these wonderful ladies are going to analyze like every single thing in each episode. But it will be entertaining because who knows if they have differing opinions about different things, and I will like
We shall see.
to place fuel to the fire
Of course you do.
and get them to actually start
Like
fighting.
everything else in our lives.
Yeah. We need more
We
drama.
don't fight.
Oh my
We
gosh.
disagrother with each other. like,
Disrespect each other?
respectfully. We disrespect each other.
We
disagree
respectfully
respectfully.
disagree.
Yes.
Oh.
I
It's
respectfully
late. I've been
disagree with
braining
you.
all day.
Oh my gosh. So before Zorric tells people where they can find us, I have a funny story about Kaylee.
Oh God.
So we went to dinner before this. We went to HG Supply.
Uh-huh.
Which I've never been been to before, and it's super cool.
It is super cool. And so all of a sudden they like started walking around giving us drinks. And so they gave us one and I'm like sipping on it, you know, like just taking a sip because I also had wine. So sip of my drink, sip of my wine. And I was, you know, talking with Kaylee
Just
and
like
all of
this.
a sudden the waiter comes by and he's like, okay, well, let me pick up your glass. And she's like, okay. And
he made a comment about like way to throw it back. And I was like, I don't mess around.
and she's like, so then later, like, you know, as soon as he picks it up, she's like, I mean, we're going to put a drink in front of me. Like, you know, I'm going to down it. And then like 5 minutes later, the manager's like making his speech about like, this is a drink that I want everyone to try. And
Oh, the cheers. Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought they were like passing out free drinks. And I was like, this place is awesome.
Wait. So she drank before the toast.
I didn't know. Nobody
so
told me.
Because they were passing out to everybody, right? Did you see?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a tester. Like, hey, we're experimenting. Try this. And I was going to give them my feedback. But they didn't
Well,
give
she
me
gave
the
them the
chance.
feedback because she
Oh, yeah.
downed it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Was it good? Or was it like a gin? Usually it's like like an
whiskey.
orange, a whiskey.
It was a
Okay.
whiskey with a little bit of lemon
Sweet and sour.
and sweet and sour.
Yeah.
It was good. It was like perfectly tart.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
That's
nice
a
of
good way
them
to
though.
describe it. It was refreshing.
I should be like a drink tester and reviewer.
I would help you with that.
Thank you.
I would help you with that too.
'Kay.
Drink things.
Yeah.
Things.
I drink and I know things.
I do drink and I know things. All right, so Zorric, tell us where people can find us.
Okay,
and listen
so
to us.
everyone can find us on where can they find us? Instagram, on Facebook,
Yep. And Twitter.
and Twitter. You can also download our podcast on
Spotify.
iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have any questions, please email us at hello@datepodcast.com. If you love Kaylee, we want to know if you love
Yeah.
Kaylee. If you
Yes,
don't love
please
Kaylee,
tell me if you love me.
actually only positive
If you
emails.
don't
It's
love
fine,
Kaylee,
I'm
I
okay.
will find you and I
No.
will hurt you.
I'm okay with constructive criticism, but just don't be a jerk about it.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
All right.
Zorric.
Me.
He
How did
used his echo to be mean to me earlier.
Oh, and she wouldn't
it's
stop.
usually me.
She would not stop.
She would not stop. She just kept going and
She
going.
called me Saint Bernard.
I believe the joke was, you look like a saint. And what
A
I mean by
saint.
that is a Saint
Saint
Bernard.
I bet the audience would like to hear that. Would they like to hear a little bit?
No.
I thought it was funny, but it was hurtful.
I do already have jokes for you guys, actually.
Okay, so
Oh.
do we have any like news? Like what's going on, Emma, today?
No, I don't have news because I have jokes instead.
Okay. The
Different-
news are
Different
jokes.
soundbite for
The
that.
news
Yeah.
are going to be jokes.
All right.
All right,
Give us
here's
some
my
jokes.
first one. Okay. A man is washing his car with his son when the boy goes, Dad, can't we use a sponge?
Huh.
Okay, fine. I thought that was funny. I laughed at myself. I laughed at the
Wait,
joke.
say that one more time. please.
No, I'm done.
No.
No, we need more.
wanna hear
I'm
it
moving
again.
on to the next one.
Yeah.
I want to hear it again.
What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a unicycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle?
One wheel.
Yeah, one wheel, one tire.
A tire.
Ah,
We were close.
That was a good one. I think that was a good one.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you.
done.
What did the buffalo dad say to his son as he left?
I know this one.
Buffalo dad say.
Okay, yeah. What did
Can
the
I say
buffalo dad say to his son as he left? Yes, Kaylee, you can say,
Say
it.
it, Kaylee.
Bye, son.
You give her a laughing track?
That was really good. That was really
I
good.
saw it on a T-shirt in North Dakota, and it was hysterical.
yeah. So an old woman fell in a well. She didn't see that well.
Oh.
Oh.
I hate you. You laughed.
I did.
Why are you vexing
But is
me
it
out?
at you or with you or? Oh no!
I can't control these people.
Where's
I know
my
the
glitter?
audience is just
Seriously.
incorrigible.
I need glitter. I need glitter.
No, glitter is the worst.
Exactly.
hate
That's why I'm
glitter.
gonna start throwing it at Zorric.
Just don't get any on me. For
Well,
the
tell
love
him
of
to.
God.
I don't have it with me
Oh, good. So
Yeah.
we're safe.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are safe for today.
for today.
Ask anybody I work with. I hate glitter.
Oh, I love glitter.
No.
It's the herpes of crabs, and I'm okay
So
with
you
it.
like herpes is what I'm
Uh-oh.
hearing.
I
you
just like glitter.
say.
I like glitter. I like to put glitter on everything.
You know,
Okay.
you know what's
You
shitty
get glitter and you
What?
get glitter.
is when you go to a
Aunt
strip
Oprah.
club and
Oh
there's like
my
glitter all over your face.
Yes, I know that feeling.
Yeah, because-
so well. No.
I mean, all dudes that are listening know that if you're going on a boys' night and you're at the strip club, you gotta take a shower before you get home, or like first thing when you get home, take a shower.
No, first of all, don't even deny it because, you know, I've said this before. Like, I'm a big proponent for, like, men that I'm dating going to the strip club because if it means you're going to get all warmed up and you're going to come home to me, I'm like, okay, that's great. I have to do none of the work.
Well,
You're going to do all of the work. I'm okay with that.
What if they're like,
As long as you shower and get the glitter and, herpes
What if I
off of you.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping they're not having sex with these women. That they're just
Glitter
kind of like,
equals herpes.
is that the keyword? Is that the keyword right now?
I
Glitter.
guess.
Oh my
I
god.
have one more.
Okay, bring it.
All right, this is my last one.
Okay.
If you guys hate this one, I'm gonna just give up the rest of the episode.
Oh, we have so much planned.
There's so much to talk about. I think we have
Alright.
pages of notes here.
I do.
At least Kaylee does.
I have notes
fully
on my
prepared for
phone,
this.
and it's like it right here. I think I can get it on my computer.
All right, y'all ready?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Make it good.
It's good that I speak. Okay, anyway. So an Englishman, a Frenchman, a Spaniard, and a German are all watching a dolphin do some excellent tricks. The dolphin notices that the four gentlemen have a very poor view. So he jumps higher out of the water and calls out, "Can you all see me?" And they respond, "Yes, we see ya."
That was cultured.
Right?
I liked it.
Thank you. Do you even
Do you get it?
Zorric?
I'm not cultured. I mean, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about right now?
Okay, so in English you say yes.
Wow.
In Frenchman, when you say yes, you say oui.
Oh.
In Spanish, you say si, and in German, you say ja.
Why do
or
you
ja.
Yeah.
you speak
Yeah, darling.
intelligent jokes? Like there should be no
Not yeah.
intelligent jokes here.
You laughed at my dumb. I mean, you didn't laugh at my dumb one.
No, the dumb ones are
He
so
laughed
funny.
at the bison one.
All right, here's one for you.
Okay.
I thought you were done.
I
She
know.
can't
but
stop.
he
Keep
wants
going,
to-
but-
he wants to dumb them down. Okay.
Last one.
So why did Adele cross the road?
Adele.
Do you know why?
I don't know, but I'm really excited for
It's
what
like
it might
has to be a lyric, right?
I feel like it should
has
be like,
to be.
hello from the other
Yes.
side.
To say hello
Yeah.
from the other side.
There you go.
Crushed it.
Nice.
She did.
All right.
That's why we like her on the show.
I
Yay.
know.
Okay, so let's talk about Friends,
Yep.
please.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk about the third
third
season.
It was episode 15 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, can you
And
give a
it's-
quick synopsis, like really quick, about what happened?
So basically,
Without
I'm
the
gonna
NSA
make it quicker than you.
Yeah, that's why you need to do it.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened at this point is that Rachel has been working for Bloomingdale's.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Rachel has been working for Bloomingdale's. It's kind of like her first job out of being a waitress at Central Park, which is a coffee house where they hang out with. And Ross is a little annoyed and frustrated because
Needy.
the person that, let's get into that later.
I
So the
know.
person that got Rachel this job, his name happens to be Mark, and Mark happens to work with Rachel. And so there's a little bit of jealousy.
Did they date?
So-
Because did they date
No,
in the
they
past?
didn't date.
Because I was confused. I was like,
He got
Yes.
her the job.
okay.
He got her the job.
So Ross has been jealous from the
How
get-go.
was
Yes.
it? Anyways.
Anyways, it is not, that's not important right now. So what's important is
I'll get to that.
We're
Okay.
getting to, so this is the point where Ross is so, just feels so left out of Rachel's lives at this point.
Insecure.
That, Kaylee, stop
I'm
it.
sorry, I can't help it.
I'm gonna mute everyone's mic because I can like keep talking, but go ahead.
So basically, this is the episode where Ross and Rachel break up. That's exactly what it's called, and it's because. Anyway, so let's get into it. So Ross and Rachel break up, and
No,
that's
they
what
don't.
it's called. Okay.
Break up.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. So let's start with the first part of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
So what was happening? What was happening the episode before this? Do you guys know?
So Rachel had been working a lot of long hours and she'd been really busy, and Ross is getting all insecure because basically she's spending all her time at work. And initially it was all with Mark, but then he got a new job.
He moved up somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. He's not important.
So wait,
But
stop
he
right there,
kinda is.
Kaylee. So like,
He is important to the story, but he's not important in my heart.
Okay.
but Kaylee, so right there, when I'm dating somebody that's always busy,
Yeah.
like I do feel insecure
Which-
sometimes.
It's fine if you guys acknowledge that.
But no one acknowledged that in the show. Is the
Right.
thing is that neither of them acknowledged it, and so like I even wrote Ross
Right.
at the beginning whiny. I said I get it. It's an anniversary,
Right.
Except that she has to work, so like, but like. His needs are being met, right? Because this is something
Right.
that's special to him. So
Yeah.
at the beginning of the episode, it starts that it's their anniversary. Ross wants to celebrate, and Rachel calls home and says, I can't because something happened at work that I
Yeah.
have to handle.
It's like a big work emergency.
Right.
Which he also has he has a lot of insecurities from his background too. So like for people who haven't seen the show, he's actually been divorced because his wife actually turned out to be a lesbian, which caused him to have a whole bunch of trust issues.
Yeah.
Which Rachel knows about
Uh-huh.
and doesn't respect, I feel like, in this point. But
Or
she's all wrapped
acknowledge
up.
in that moment. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and I get it. She's wrapped up in her own stress and all that other stuff. But like, he has a lot of baggage that she's not even looking at.
Right. So here's what I would have done differently, or what I've told my couples to do differently and have they come to therapy with me. I would have been like, hello, Ross and Rachel. Like, what are you guys not telling each other? Like, what need isn't being met? And then Ross can definitely at that point say, like, I don't feel like I'm important to her anymore. Rachel can say something to the extent of, you know, like, this is the first time where I feel fulfilled in my career. I want him to understand that.
But she did say.
She did say it, but not until he showed up at that dinner at the office. Or no, it was their argument.
But she had mentioned things like that before.
Well, we're not talking about those episodes right now.
So
Wait, can I ask a question? How long have they
Yeah.
been dating, like in that episode?
I guess
that would have been their 1 year anniversary.
1 year. Okay, so don't you think that stuff should be spoken about already by 1 year?
Yes.
I
But that
would-
makes for bad TV.
That does.
If
the
they were
whole-
mature and had no insecurities,
Then
the
it'd be a
show would have
shitty
been
show.
over.
And honestly, like the whole time I'm watching the show, I'm like just mad at the writers because I'm like, you jerks, like you guys are just doing this to make good TV. Like this isn't realistic. I just kept getting mad.
Well-
Although I did, like, as I rewatched it today, actually trying to not side with anybody, it made it easier because I will say that I was very much Team Rachel. And then when I was rewatching it today, like trying to put on my therapist hat and not be biased. First of all, that was hard because since middle school, I've been Team Rachel.
She's so hot, by the way. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Jennifer
Yeah, I worked really hard
Aniston.
at
Oh
it.
my gosh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Kaylee. Yes, Kaylee. For sure, Kaylee.
No,
Kaylee, what would you do to her right now?
to Rachel.
Zorric, stop it.
You wouldn't do anything to
What's
her?
wrong with you? Stop it.
Rachel.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like
Zorric,
we're getting off
stop
topic right
it.
now.
Okay. I want to hear that
Although
later.
the Star Wars fan in me is really appreciative of the fact that she dressed up as Princess Leia. But we can go back to that later.
Okay, well, we will. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about insecurities. Okay,
Yeah.
so as a man, I should bring it up right away.
I would
Your
say-
insecurities
Well, like about
in a timely fashion.
my girlfriend is always working or something, and I just don't like that. Or it depends on my also what I appreciate, right? Time or what is that?
Your love language.
languages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that if you're dating somebody that doesn't fit your lifestyle, that's something to think about too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she makes a comment during the fight, like, what do you want me to do? Quit my job so you think you have a girlfriend or feel like you have a girlfriend? And that really hit a nerve with me for a lot of things. But I think that you have to keep in mind, like, okay, this person needs to do this right now for their job. If it's going to be forever, then maybe this isn't the right match for me. But if it's just temporary and they need to work to another level in their job, then I can push through this.
Yeah, I think that was pretty slick though, taking the picnic to her job.
I didn't.
That was
I hated
really
every
slick,
minute of
but
it.
I thought
would
it was
not.
really sweet, but
Yeah.
really poor timing.
Yes,
Like, don't
yeah.
do it when you know she's in a work crisis. That was stupid.
I think that was
Yeah.
his. Okay, so I hate defending Ross right now. I think I have to defend him too. Is that I mean I think you're defending him too.
Yeah.
And so like for the way I saw him being like, okay, so if she can't come out to me, let me sort of take care of her.
Right. I think he had really good intentions, but it also was masked. It was masking his insecurities.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, he was very insecure in that whole purpose, because I even wrote, like, what is the purpose of having dinner at the office?
Well, it was the anniversary thing, right? Like,
Right.
he really wanted to
Yes.
surprise her.
Yes.
Which I
and
thought was very sweet, but
Yeah.
like he knew that she was
I also think
super in a crisis.
if Rachel knew she was going to be in a crisis, like, the conversation should have been had a little bit sooner.
Yeah, you are.
And not leave
Yeah.
a voicemail with his sister, you know, who you are roommates with.
Oh yeah, she just said call Rachel, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, then, so I think that's how it started, is that she called Monica to tell Ross that she had some kind of work thing that couldn't. And
She
so
said
couldn't
call
make dinner.
Rachel. So you don't know when she called.
Oh, the piece of paper, right? It was written on a piece of paper or something like that.
Monica just said
Yeah.
Ross Rachel wants you to call her
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we
No.
don't know when that voicemail was
Okay.
left.
I would have called until I reached him.
Yeah. But this was also back in the day before, like, you know, iPhones.
No cell phone.
No, I get it, but people had.
But he also has a job.
answering
He could have
machines.
called,
Yeah,
like, his work or
people also
whatever.
have answering machines that they call in their break. He had a pager at that point, so.
Do you remember the number?
Yeah, like a code.
55 Jimbo.
Yes.
Oh, what is that?
That was
You weren't there,
that was
sorry.
his pager's
probably
name.
You
was
weren't there.
not.
That was a
That
pager's
wasn't a
number.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
And people kept calling, like misdialing and thinking it was like a male escort
porn,
number.
yeah.
55 Jumbo.
Mm.
Yeah. It was funny. You should really go back and rewatch
Maybe.
the show.
Maybe. Oh crap. Maybe that should have been.
Is that what we should have talked about?
That's what we should have called. What we should call Zorric. 55 Jumbo.
Okay, so in that whole
I'm not gonna do that.
whole work scene, what else
Yeah.
did you guys come up with?
Okay, so like Rachel's really into her job, and you know she was like high alert, high stress, like in the moment, like problem solving. She honestly she was just in her groove, and then Ross came in and kind of messed it up.
Yeah.
And it also
And didn't
help.
listen to her
No.
when she was trying to set that limit.
And it also didn't help that he tried triangulating. Here's a new therapy word for you guys. Triangulating is when you want to involve a third party into your argument to take a side.
Oh,
That was a not nice
I do
move.
that all the time.
I do too. A lot of people
Shame on
do
both of
that.
you.
Oh, whatever. A lot of people try to do that
That's
in
perfect.
therapeutic
Yes,
sessions.
I'm perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know it.
In therapy sessions, when they try to get like us as therapists to triangulate with them,
Yeah. And
And-
they're like, don't you agree or whatever?
and we're like, So everyone's validated here. How do you feel about that?
Mm.
Sounds like it's important for you to have me on your side right now.
Yeah. What's going on? What's up with that?
That's my therapist voice.
Yeah.
So Kaylee, what did you get out of that first scene? Anything different from what we've talked about?
Most of what I focused on was the actual fight.
Okay. Yep. Which is the next scene.
Well, the next scene was like
Yeah.
at the bar or something.
Right. Oh.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that
So-
was the next episode.
Segue, go ahead.
No.
What was it?
The next episode was the morning after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the next
So-
scene is that there were.
The next
No.
scene is when he comes home. Or no, she comes home.
And he's
and
there.
she's like, about what
Oh, yeah,
happened
that's
or whatever.
right,
And
that's
he's
right.
like, it's okay, don't worry about it. And then she was like, I was going to give you a chance to apologize to me.
Oh yeah.
Which, first of all, that phrase in and of itself is going to start a fight. Like,
Yes.
Well-
Because first of all, I was like, because I'm like, first of all, like Ross doesn't have to apologize to you. Like, I think, because I wrote, they both needed to apologize. They
Yes,
both did.
yes,
They
absolutely.
both did. And so, like, the fact that Rachel started that conversation with, like, I was going to give you a chance to apologize, I was like, you're overreacting too. Like, you're overreacting right now. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I don't want to apologize to you. Like, I want to argue with you too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I
that's-
did.
Yeah.
What would you do, Kaylee, in that situation? Would you,
If I'm Ross or if I'm Rachel?
Rachel?
Am I being mature or am I being...
You're being you.
I'm being me.
Yeah.
So immature.
Hey. No, honestly, I'd probably walk in and be like,
No. So Kaylee.
what
so
happened?
Kaylee, I did all this work for you. This was our anniversary.
Are we fighting right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
you
I
know-
like when you fight.
And you know what? I just, I wanted to spend time with you at work. I'm so sorry you were busy. But I feel like you were rude. You were just rude. Because I did all these things for you. I brought a picnic basket with food, and you just dismissed it. I deserve an apology.
Okay. So I feel like you weren't listening to me when I was telling you I didn't have time. I feel like you were dismissing me when I was telling you how busy I was and how important that was to me.
Okay.
And while I appreciate that gesture, and any other day it probably would have been really sweet, in that moment it was not appropriate.
But the food was so good.
Probably not. It was probably cold because you brought it in a picnic basket.
No, it was. It was a cold cut sandwich.
You brought me Subway? I'm breaking up with you. Quiznos or nothing.
Okay, so at that point, I don't know what would happen. We just kind of keep probably arguing. I
will say, and I'm not a fighter. I will sit and listen and be like, "Are you done? Are you willing to listen to my side? Cool." Like I will wait until someone calms down before we duke it out because it's not going to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. Why are you looking at it like that?
Is it because you want breakup or makeup sex? Is that a thing for you?
Is that a thing for me?
Yeah.
Only answer what you feel comfortable answering.
Well, honestly, I'm trying to think. I'm like, have I ever had it?
Well.
I think Zorric wants to be your first timer then.
What? Had sex?
We're gonna have to get in a really big fight then. No. I'm just saying, like, I don't fight, and until things are worked out, like, that isn't even on my radar.
It's true. Kaylee and I have never had an argument.
And let's have one right now.
I do a lot of jerk things all the time with my friends. I won't deny that.
But it's also not helpful for me to be like, hey, you're kind of being a jerk right now. Like, you'll figure it out. You're an intelligent human being. I just won't come around you until you chill. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really kind of my thing, is it's like,
Yeah. So
it's not worth my energy.
No, I'm joking. No. I'm joking.
I don't talk to anybody.
So in that scene, so what else happens in that scene?
So in that scene is when I felt like they were both truly like minimizing each other during the argument.
They were very
like,
selfish.
Like each one was sort of like one-upping the other. Like, well, this is what I've done for you. This is what I've done for you. Yeah, well, like you haven't done this for me. You haven't done this for me either. And it's sort of like when you are engaging in minimizing each other or trying to make the other person feel lesser than, it's not actually helping anything because all you're doing is you're taking points for something that's useless.
Well, and the minute you start keeping points and keeping track and getting competitive in a relationship, you both lose.
Exactly.
And that's what I think was the biggest irritation with this, is it was like, well, you did this, so that means I can do that.
Right.
Like when he thought that she was sleeping with Mark, he went and slept with somebody else.
We haven't gone there yet.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the most important part of this.
Is.
Right.
But okay, so what else happens in
that moment, Rachel says something like,
do you want me to quote it?
Yes. Okay, so in that moment, Rachel says something like,
I don't know what to do anymore. Maybe we should just take a break.
And so then Ross...
What does that even mean?
Hold on. So then Ross gets upset. And
he does nothing.
What does he say?
Nothing.
So what does he do?
He leaves.
Okay.
No, but usually we think that that's it. Like, as a man, I'm like, okay, I guess that's it then.
Okay, Kaylee.
You have a lot to say, Kaylee. Go ahead.
So Kaylee.
So I'll just keep it on this specific situation. So the reason I get so frustrated with this whole we were on a break thing, you don't know what you are. You left.
Oh, it's ambiguous at the moment.
You got mad because you didn't like what she said. And so you took off instead of being like, wait a minute, what? Fight through it. Like, he calls her out on all these moments throughout this episode and the next of talking about, like, when things get hard, you want to bail. You bailed first, man. Like, you took off without even replying to we were on a break.
Right.
No.
Here's how I feel about it. And so this is what I texted you, right? Because
yes.
It was like growing up.
Do you have it?
Well, I can't look at it. We're recording. So while I was growing up, I was always like, they weren't on a break. They weren't on a break.
Or were not?
They weren't on a break, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And, he shouldn't have shouldn't have slept with the copier girl.
Another point I will get to.
As a grown up, so this time I was like, I think I said something to the extent of, like I'm watching it as a grown-up and as a therapist.
Yeah.
And I have lots of feelings about this. And one of them is, to me, I did feel like they were on a break. Like, I felt like that moment for me, I heard it, and I heard Rachel say, like, let's take a pause. Like, let's take a break from each other.
Yeah.
So, for me, because... It was like when he slept with the copier girl, like I get it, like Rachel's upset, like I would have been pissed too, like I would have been angry. I would have tried to
still not a good choice if you ever wanted to get back with her.
It was not a good choice, and I'm not defending him for sleeping with her. However, I can see how he interpreted that as we're not together.
But my thing is, even if you're on a break, she didn't say, I think we should break up. She said, maybe we should just take a break.
And that's where it's a little muddy. And that's where we can't honestly tell, Kaylee, because we were on a break.
Shit.
Like, what does that actually mean?
She used my name. She just got real.
Wait, hold on. So to me, a break means we're kind of still together.
Right.
You can kind of do what you want to do, but don't fuck it up. Don't do too much.
And Ross did.
And see, that's
mess
my
it
thing,
up.
is like, you can take a break and basically, I'm not expected to have dinner with you every night.
I got you.
So we're taking a pause, we're breathing, we're thinking.
That's your interpretation of it. Like if
Correct.
someone else,
but he didn't know what the interpretation was. He left.
He took it as we are done.
Yeah, which I get. That's what he is thinking, but he didn't clarify that, and
Here's
that's
where
my
it gets
biggest
good, you guys.
thing. That is my biggest thing when I'm working with couples or any kind of relationship stuff. If you don't know, quit friggin' assuming stuff.
Right.
And ask
the question.
Ask the questions.
If we're on a break, does that mean I can go fuck the copy girl?
Yeah.
Like, am I don't.
She's hot.
No, sir. You don't even know.
That hot.
I like that short hair, by the way.
didn't.
Anyways, Kaylee, keep going.
She was annoying. Well, and side note, Mark and Chloe, both bad news. Like, they both were temptations that, like, people should have seen coming from a mile away.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is that, like, okay, so Ross left. Okay, Ross left, went to the party. Okay, cool. Cool off. Great. Go ahead and have some beers. Great. Think about what just happened. Great. Here's what I think. Here's what makes me a little upset and annoyed.
Do you see that on Facebook Live, guys? The finger. This is on
Fingers
Facebook
are
Live.
wagging big time.
I get really passionate about this. So here, okay, I don't care. Call me out. I don't care.
Okay,
here it
will.
is. So here's what frustrates me is because like the copier girl was totally into Ross, right?
No morals.
No morals whatsoever. And the writers like set us up for failure. They really do. However, if we take this into real life, this happens in real life too. This is why Kaylee and I are in the
This is what keeps us employed.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. If there were perfect relationships, you guys wouldn't do anything.
I don't know what I would probably be a stay-at-home daughter. That's what I'd have to be at this point.
Stay-at-home daughter. I don't know what I would be. I never had a plan B. Ever. I don't know what I would do.
No, my sister and I have both been stay-at-home daughters at different moments in our lives, and our parents love it. So
I would be a very, very starving artist because I'm not good enough to do anything, but I like it.
Okay, so
anyways,
what else is
we go back to
back on task.
I know, right? We're back at this party where the copier girl is there, and so Ross is wallowing in his own misery. He truly is.
But one thing that I did notice, it's not a party, it's a bar. He didn't even know Chandler and Joey were there. Because he walks in and Chloe's like, oh, meet my friends. And he pretends like he just went to a bar to go drink by himself.
Okay.
Which is where mistakes happen.
Because he's wallowing. What else is he going to do? Is he going to go back to
grow
his
a pair?
No. Can I tell you guys that this happens to all of us men. When we get into fights, we go to a bar or we go with our buddies.
Go with your buddies then.
No, but see, that's bad news too.
Go with the right buddies.
Yeah, no, mine
Go
are
with your
all
married buddies.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, we make dumb
They have
decisions.
to get permission if they're married.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
I just want to leave and go, but like we make these emotional decisions because we're like so down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, like, you shouldn't make those decisions when you're like, what is it? Hungry, angry. Something and lonely, and then T. What's the T? Like
tired.
And
I feel like I just made that up.
no,
I don't know.
you should not make decisions like that.
Okay.
And
No,
going to a bar, you're gonna just screw it up too.
Drink at home.
And that's what
it's
I
cheaper.
think. I felt his.
cheaper.
I felt his pain.
I did too. I did too.
I felt like that. Like if I'm even in an argument with it,
Yeah.
with my girlfriend, and I go to a bar because I'm mad.
Right.
Man, I'm.
And
Decisions.
here's where I do take Ross's side just a little bit. I do take Ross's side
Yeah.
in this because here he is finally with this girl that he loves, and he like deeply, passionately loves her. Hold on, I'll get your opinion on this.
You're next.
And all of a sudden, like, his dreams are being crushed because she is doing something that she loves to do that, like, for him, unfortunately, does not involve him anymore. He is no longer the center of her world. You know, her job, her career becomes more important. And which sometimes I wish they had written Ross as a Hispanic guy, because I'm like, he fits the Hispanic stereotype so well. That's, you know, I digress. So like, I get where he's coming from, that his whole world is shattered.
Literally,
like,
he's been obsessed with her since ninth grade.
Like, yeah.
Really?
And, yes.
Yeah, that's part of the backstory.
And so, like, to like go with this human whom he adores, he reveres, like, this is his person, this is who he believes is truly his soulmate, to not being in his life anymore because she has said, maybe we should take a break or whatever, right? Is that
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
His whole world is crushed. So he goes from 100, or maybe he goes from like 90 to 0. Right? So he is down and he doesn't know how to cope with it because he's not good about coping things. And this is where I take Ross's side. Yeah, I take his side just a little bit because I'm like, I can completely understand your world being crushed to that point where it's just like you're back at a 0. Like you don't think that you are deserving of anything.
Super vulnerable.
Anymore.
But he's still like, so here, my whole thing
Kelly.
with Ross, honestly, is you claim to love Rachel more than anything. And yet you went and slept with somebody the minute you guys broke up.
It was an accident, though.
He didn't slip and fall. It wasn't an accident.
He slipped and fell inside. Go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, Zorric.
I think Kelly's going to break up with you at the end of this.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. But I'll clarify what that means.
Okay, please. Thank you.
You can't record with other people.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Is the podcast over?
No.
Is that what Kaylee's saying?
No, we're just on a break. So my whole thing is, though, he's claiming that he loves this person, and it wasn't like he was that drunk. Like, all of
you
the
can't
things,
show that on
But that's
TV.
the thing, we don't know.
But
We
so
don't
what
know
we
that.
see
Right.
is that he starts making out with her when he's not that drunk. He's had like 2 beers. I watched it closely.
Okay.
And then,
really?
yes. And then he goes and sleeps with this girl, putting the nail in the coffin of your relationship.
Okay. Therapeutic head on by me right now.
Oh, mine
I'm gonna
is
have
so
to
not
defend.
on right now.
I know I have to defend Ross a little bit again too here, because when I was watching it, I'm like, this copier girl is. I'm not okay.
The
So
worst.
hold on.
Does she have a name?
No,
Chloe?
copier
Can you-
girl.
Chloe.
Chloe.
Okay. So Chloe is hitting on Ross this whole time. She truly is. She's like throwing herself at him. Like she wants to be with him. I get it. It happens. And so all of a sudden, like this U2 song comes on.
With or without you.
Thank you. I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was U2. And he said something like, this is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And so she starts dancing with him. Very hesitantly, he accepts. And the same thing, like they're dancing. I'm still putting blame on Ross on this, okay?
Yeah.
So people, listeners out there, do not think I'm not blaming him for it, because it takes 2 to freaking tango, okay? I get it.
Yeah.
However, it was kind of more alluring to him to accept the
I
bait.
ain't saying that he did it all by himself.
Right. It was
Chloe's
a
a
nice, shiny bait in front of him.
She was trying to.
She was
trying
to
real
seduce
hard.
him, and it worked. Eventually, like, it worked. Once
And
it
I get
worked,
that.
yeah, it went
He was-
downhill.
he was looking for
vulnerable.
comfort.
And
I get that.
And here's let me tell you guys something from my perspective, is that this was a need that Ross got. Here's one of Ross's needs that was met that wasn't being met by Rachel, which was the attention. It was the comfort. It was that that closeness. It wasn't being met
that
by
priority.
Rachel. Right. And
Yeah.
here it was met. So this is where I have to this is where I have to defend Ross, because Rachel wasn't meeting this need. I'm not blaming Rachel. I'm just stating the fact that a lot of times when people cheat, it's because their own needs are not being met. And so when their own needs are not being met, they're going to look for it in places.
Right.
So these needs were not being met. Here's this shiny little toy throwing herself at him that's meeting these needs, that wants to meet the needs, and he accepts.
So in other words, Rachel is bad in bed. That's what we're saying.
No,
here.
I'm not saying
she dressed
that.
up as Princess Leia. She's
But
the
it
bomb.
doesn't mean the sex is great. It's probably
No,
like, not
you
so
can
good.
have
There was an
amazing
entire episode
sex.
about how it was good.
Oh.
You
don't
can
know.
have amazing sex, Zorric, and it still doesn't matter. Someone can
What?
still
Yeah.
freaking cheat if certain
true.
needs are not being met. So it's
True.
not about sex.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about other needs not
What if
being
all the
met.
value is
Because
sex?
sex is just an itch to scratch. That's
Whoa.
not actually. I mean, let's be real.
That's
It's a
not very
biological need.
that's
Like
not
it's
very
something.
romantic.
Yeah.
Are we talking about romance? Sorry, I didn't
Are we
get that.
talking about sex? We're talking
like
about
I always talk
romantic
about
sex.
About the act
Maslow's
of
needs.
sex?
Yeah, we always
Yes.
talk about Maslow's
Right.
needs. It's one of the basic needs that needs to
Right.
be met.
Food, water,
Like,
shelter.
sex.
And blowjobs, right?
That's
That
part
goes
of
with
sex.
sex.
That's in
Yeah,
that
okay.
category. Thank you for noting that in case any of our listeners didn't understand that was
I love
part
how
of
Kaylee
sex.
just said any of our listeners didn't know
Hey, I'm a
that.
part of this today. But one thing that I think we need to make sure we're not forgetting
She's
is
the podcast girlfriend.
I
My
am.
podcast girlfriend.
I'm a
She is a podcast girlfriend.
Yay! I'm okay with that. So one thing that I think we do need to note, though, is Ross thought that Rachel was having sex with Mark.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here's what happens.
So
which
that's how I'm not pro Rachel anymore.
I was like,
okay,
bitch.
so bad. Like
How
these
dare you have
writers-
Chinese food with this man?
I know.
These writers are seriously like setting this relationship up for failure.
Yeah.
And I get it. They had to change it, right? Nobody wants to see Ross and Rachel.
It wouldn't have made 10 seasons with them together that whole time.
No. It wouldn't. Part of it is like, will they, won't they, will they, won't they?
Yeah.
That's what made it alluring,
Right.
right? We didn't know.
That and Chandler. I love Chandler. His
Oh, yeah.
sarcasm is like my spirit animal. It's great.
I don't know. I feel like I know that I'm a Monica. Like I know I'm a Monica.
Yeah, you are.
But I really want to be like a Phoebe.
Wait, are we?
You're
are
not.
Are we still on the first that 15 episode?
Yes.
Okay.
No. We moved on at this point?
We have not. It's still that first
Or
episode.
no, we're still on that
We're
first
still
episode.
on that first
yeah.
episode.
Okay, we might
So
need to
what
end.
happens
yeah.
is-
We might need to end it here or soon
Okay.
for the first
Okay.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And-
let's
yeah.
end it. Okay.
I think I've hit all my points. Let me check my notes. Hang on.
Okay, so real quick, what happens towards the end of the episode, which causes Ross to feel like he can kiss the Chloe, the copier girl, is that he calls home. Well, he calls Rachel,
Right.
And he's like, "Hey, I missed you," or some crap like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Like they're
that's
both
right. That's the
talking to
end.
each other, right?
Yeah.
And they
so-
agreed. They both were like, "This is stupid. Let's
Right.
work it out."
And then Mark is at the apartment because Mark calls Rachel to check in on her.
And invites himself over.
Yes, invites himself over. And I would have been like, had I been Rachel, I'd been like, no, you can't come in. Like, I
No.
can't have you in. And she still lets him in because he brought Chinese. And so when Ross is on the phone with
Although-
Rachel, he hears Mark. And Ross is like, is that Mark? And Rachel's like, no. And then it's like, yes.
I mean, if someone
so-
brings me Chinese food, you can come in.
I'll bring you
Sorry.
Chinese food next
I'll
time.
bring you.
Careful. Careful. I saw that look. I saw that look. You were doing something like
Whoa.
egg rolls, weren't you?
I actually had egg rolls yesterday. It was really good. Like
Oh, did
actual
you?
egg rolls.
Oh, thank you.
From
Egg
the
rolls,
store,
spring roll.
from a restaurant. And so,
Oh, jeez.
and so I think that, so like we forgot to add
Things
that to
went
the
downhill.
beginning of like Ross is that like this happened.
Yeah.
Like he heard Mark be at the apartment, which I think in his mind gave him permission to go ahead and
There
kind
you
of
go.
like
Yeah.
give into it.
It was
a
like
little bit more.
retaliation. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Which is super immature and unhealthy.
Right. For sure.
I might have done that too because I'm like, because you don't even know at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a dude there, and I'm like, what? Who the fuck is this guy? And
But two wrongs don't make a right.
sometimes it does.
Isn't that a song?
Not if you're reliant. Like only if you're Reliant K. That's the only time that that's okay.
It
That is a
depends.
song, okay.
It also depends, like how serious you are in this relationship. You know, like if this quote unquote, if this is the love of his life, then I
Right.
wouldn't do it.
Right.
Right. But again, like
I get both sides.
I do hate.
I will say.
I know. I hate
both
defending
sides, Emma.
Ross, but I feel like I have to because he like
Because everybody hates him.
yes. Once he hears Mark at the apartment, it's sort of like look, I've been right about this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be rational about this.
That's a
and so I'm
country
just going to
song.
keep drinking. And here's this pretty young thing, copier girl, Chloe.
Who's a sure thing.
Yeah. And I'm going to go for it.
I don't blame him on that side. Like I get the emotions behind it. I really do. But my entire issue with it is he claims to be in love with this girl since 9th grade. And the minute things get tough, he makes an assumption, he bails, and he sleeps with somebody else.
But she also overreacts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
So again,
I'm not in
it's
love with her, he is.
Yeah, it's not just him; it's both of them, and I think that's just because it's Rachel. Like we give Rachel a lot of passes, and me rewatching the serial, it's like, no, Rachel, like you're wrong, girl. Like you're wrong, girl.
They both made
They both are.
really
Yeah,
poor
they both
choices.
made poor choices, and I think we only focus on Ross, and that annoys me because it's like
That's because he won't
both
let
of
it
them.
go.
Neither will she though.
It's because he always brings up, we were on a break. Even
They
through his
were on a
son.
but what does that break mean? That's the problem. That again, they
I
need
don't know unless you
But
clarify.
I will.
You don't know.
I mean, like they were on a break. Anytime he says that, I'm like, yeah, they were on a break. Like I don't know what you want from him.
All right, Emma. So if you and your
Things are
boyfriend
escalating.
were on a break, what would be acceptable if you were on a break
Ooh.
with your boyfriend?
He better be at home crying about me in his bed. That's what he needs to be doing.
Damn.
But you're saying that it's okay because they were on a break, but you're not willing to give someone who's real the same pass?
No.
No.
Correct. The difference is I'm in a relationship with this person.
Yeah.
So
I
were
was
they.
not in a relationship with Ross.
No, but this is
would never-
you were.
I don't know.
Relationship
I
with Ross.
honestly don't know. But like I know.
Yeah.
I know for myself, like cheating in the past has been really difficult. Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Because I can't
Yeah.
go into details about it.
Kaylee, go ahead. So what would you do? So
I have a no, like, there's whole no bullying policy or whatever.
You have a zero tolerance.
I have a
for
zero
cheating.
tolerance policy. And like, I don't put up with jealousy. It's not healthy. It's not worth my time. And as far as cheating goes, there's a reason that you're in that situation to begin with.
yeah, but if you guys are on a break, what's acceptable?
Well, I grew up watching Friends, so I know better than to say we're on a break. No, I mean, I think that you have to clarify what that means. So, like, if I was in a similar situation, I would say something along the lines of, like, look, I just need some time to think. Just give me a couple days, and then we'll sit down and talk this out. But right now, I don't want to look at your stupid face. Like,
Yeah.
But I think that the minute you say something like, I don't know if we can do this anymore, it gives the person listening, like you were saying, Emma, they assume that means you're done. But you have to be clear. If your expectation is that you just need some space to think, that's what you need to say.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're dumb. We'll cheat. We'll go to strip clubs.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we are. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, if you're dating me and you go to a strip club when we're dating, just let me know. I'm cool with it.
I don't
Just
care
know
about a
that I'm
strip
gonna be
club. Just
going-
shower when you get home.
Exactly. Just know I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Just know it. Okay, LeBear. Okay.
I've never been to La Bear.
Oh my gosh, we gotta go.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Are
there's-
you done? Too heated for you, Zorric?
There's so much information, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we can go for like 5 hours. So
I know.
let's talk about the next episode and then the finale.
Cool.
Because I know Emma wants to talk about the finale. We can talk about that next time you guys hear us. So you guys stay tuned for the next one. Do you guys have any other closing thoughts about? I mean, but don't go until like.
I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna rant.
Okay.
I'm just saying they were on a break. I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm not saying they were or they weren't. I'm saying communication sucked.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
They were both
Cool.
stupid.
Okay, so you can find us on iTunes.
Uh-huh.
You can find us on Stitcher and
Google Play.
Spotify, or
Yep.
wherever you listen to your podcast. We're on Instagram and Twitter. Send us an email at hello@daypodcast.com, and then we'll talk more friends next time you guys hear us. So
Bo show.
thanks for listening. Thanks, Kaylee.
Anytime.
You're our favorite.
I
Is
am
she-
the
Yes.
friend
is
of the podcast.
You can say she's
Okay.
her favorite
I
person.
think
You
she's-
can say that.
She's
I'm okay
the
with
favorite
that.
person. I think Kayla's also the favorite person.
Yeah, but she's not here right now.
Kale.
He.
Oh,
Kale's the
it's a
favorite
Kayla.
guy.
Gotcha.
But Kaylee's the favorite girl.
Ooh,
That's just
we
to
should
me.
do an episode with
That's to
both
me.
of us because our names are so
Oh.
similar.
Ooh,
That could be fun.
that would be fun.
Do you agree with the favorites, or do you not agree? Or should we talk about it next time?
Play favorites. Play favorites.
Kaylee is one of my favorites, but
Yay!
we'll talk about it next time.
All right, everyone. We'll see you guys later. Bye.